Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. So today we are talking about a new skin tint by Fenty Beauty. This is the Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Stick Blur plus Smooth Tint Stick Foundation. So I'm going to be comparing it with the original Eaze Drop Skin Tint, and I got some thoughts for y'all because this one, I'm just put it out there. This is a good wear test, and it's definitely a good one for you to watch if you already have this one and you're contemplating, is this one worth it? So stay tuned for all of that. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it. And if you are new, I would love for you to click that subscribe button, join the Glam Girl Squad. And if you're not new, because y'all be watching and not subscribing, go ahead and click that subscribe button, join the Glam Girl Squad because we'd love to have you. And let's get right into this. So first we're starting off with the Fenty Beauty Tint Stick Foundation. This does retail for $35. It comes in a total of 0.32 ounces of product or 9 grams of product. It does come in 25 shades, and I did pick up the shade 14. Now I chose the shade 14 because if you go on Sephora's website, scroll through the pictures, towards the end of the pictures there is a chart that if you know your Pro Filter foundation shade, it'll tell you what shade or shades should work for you. So that's how I chose shade 14. Shade 14 is described for medium with warm olive undertones, and this is described as a light coverage, long wear tint stick with a creamy, smooth texture that instantly blurs while melting into skin for a natural finish. And some additional facts that you might want to know about this. This is supposed to be a crease-proof formula that will deliver a blurred, smooth, second skin finish that will resist fading and transferring. It's easy to use. It will help with all-day hydration and comes in color-true pigments that will resist oxidation. The packaging is also 100% recyclable. So looking at this up close, I like the concept of the packaging because it's recyclable, but I think I wish this was like, maybe not see-through. I think the packaging kind of gives me a little bit of a cheaper vibe. And I, like, for instance, if you look at it, you know, up close, you can kind of see through the packaging. That's me just being me, okay? I do not hold it against the product. I have only used this product today, so this is the amount of product that we do get. I don't think this is a lot of product compared to other stick foundations that I do have, and I feel like if you really enjoyed this, wanted to use this every day, I can see someone going through this fairly quickly. Like I said, using it every day, and also depending on how much you use. This just gives you an idea of maybe how much I use. I applied 2 layers of this foundation today. I do apologize because when I first applied that initial layer, I didn't realize I wasn't recording, so that's why I don't have footage of the first layer. But you did see a side-by-side of what my skin looked like with just 1 layer of the Tint Stick Foundation compared to the other side of my face with nothing. I do feel like this formula does build nicely, and although it is described as a light coverage type of product, if you add another layer, this is quite buildable. Like all day today, I was looking at my skin and I was just like, man, this side really is giving more coverage. Not, you know, Pro Filter foundation coverage, but definitely more coverage than I would say your traditional tint, especially if you add that second layer. With that first layer, I think we got a really nice natural finish. I'm talking very skin-like, very much like you have nothing on your face, you've just been doing your skincare and drinking your water type of look, which is really beautiful. And I would agree that the finish is quite natural, just putting it on your skin and then going about your day. I really do enjoy the tone of this foundation stick better as well compared to the traditional skin tint, and I'll get into that in just a little bit. But I do feel like this is a blurring and a smoothing type of product. Like I said, all day today, I was just kind of looking at my skin in the mirror, going like this and going like this, and I really enjoyed how my skin looked like. Now, today has been a day. It's been a long day, so I don't have a traditional intro where you're seeing what the skin tint looks like on my face, like shortly after I applied it. This is at the end of the day, after about a good solid 10 hours of wear. I I did put powder on, so you'll be seeing clips of what my face looks like throughout the day. And all I had on was a skin tint. I didn't put, powder on top, no concealer, no nothing. So you'll just be seeing these skin tints on my skin just in and of their own. Okay, so I really like this. I was like, okay, this is good. What does the original skin tint look like? And actually, what is this supposed to do that this is not doing? Because I kind of, not confused, but I kind of was like, well, why are we buying both? And do we really need both? Okay, so the original skin tint is the Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint. Also comes in 25 shades, retails for $35. Now in this one, I got the shade 13, and 13 is described as medium with warm undertones. Now for some reason, when I went in store to try 14, I just didn't like it against my skin. That's why I went with 13. And now I'm kind of second guessing, like maybe I should go back and try it again, because the undertone descriptions for these shades in the original skin tint are going to be the same for the Tint Stick Foundation. So if you know your original skin tint shade and you like it, I would say just pick up your Tint Foundation shade, Tint Stick Foundation shade, because the descriptions at least are the same. But this is what I have. So this one, we get a total of 1.08 ounces of product, or 32 milliliters of product. And it says that this is going to be a lightweight, buildable, light to medium coverage tinted moisturizer that leaves the skin looking blurred and smooth. And some additional facts about this one: it also is supposed to leave a very natural finish on the skin. It's an easy to apply, flexible skin tint. It's going to quickly and visibly even out complexion with a blurred effect. It has a Hydra Blend complex, and it also is supposed to be humidity, sweat, and transfer resistant in its formulation. And it's going to have a smooth texture that layers well with primer and skincare. So this I have loved for the past couple of years. It's definitely one of those skin tints I reach for, especially in the warmer months, in the heat, and all of the things hot, humid, and sweaty, because this lasts all day under all types of environments, and it really does look very natural on the skin. I would dare to even say this is giving across like demi matte in its formulation. I remember when I first tried this, I was kind of taken aback because I was like, where's the dew, where's the glow? Because this is not your traditional skin tint, in my opinion, that's going to give you that dewy type of finish. This is giving you quite natural, and depending on your skin type, I would not be surprised if some people said this was a little too drying for them. Because for me, if I don't use a hydrating primer, or I don't wear it in the summertime where I'm going to be sweating, it can be a bit too dry just by itself. Today I did prime my skin with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Glow Serum on both sides of my face, and that was the only type of primerish product I put on. And this is beautiful. It is stunning. And even though this shade is a bit lighter, I can make it work for my complexion. For the record, I do have a tan going on, so if this looks a little too light, that's mainly because I have a tan, and so it's obviously going to be a little bit lighter on the complexion. But I really enjoy this. I think it's lovely, and it's just one of those products that just, it's so easy. Like, it's not complicated. It's just here to make you look well. I do think that this skin tint also does have a nice blur, smooth property to it, to the skin. Very easy to apply. I can apply this with my hands or a brush, and it's just one of those like no fuss, no mess type of products. Now, I'm gonna tell you this. I was looking at my skin throughout the day, and I kept going to this side and going, this is so beautiful and so easy on the skin. And I would say that I feel the blurring effect. I do feel we have more of it on this side of the face than this side. And I do feel like this is giving us more of that traditional skin tint type of coverage. This one I say is definitely going to give us more of a light coverage, whereas the Tint Stick Foundation, I feel you could almost build this up to like a nice lighter medium type of coverage, because just looking at the two side by side, I applied 2 layers of both tints on the skin to try to make sure that we were looking at them in a more fair type of way. And we definitely have a little less coverage on the traditional skin tint side compared to the Tint Stick Foundation side. Okay, I like both, and I think both are amazing. Looking at them in my studio lighting, I think they both just look beautiful. What you're seeing in the video clip is just what they look like right after I applied them to the skin. And like I said, no powder, no concealer, just the skin tints. I think both look very natural on the skin. I would say because the Tint foundation stick is a cream formula, I do think we're gonna get a little bit more radiance from it just naturally because it's that cream formulation. But it's a very nice soft radiance, nothing dewy, nothing heavy feeling or looking on the skin as well. Just natural and beautiful. Taking it into natural lighting, so I was still inside the house, but I had just natural lighting showing on the face. I think both just once again look so beautiful, so really nice on camera as well for a lighter coverage type of makeup. And then there was no flashback with flash photography, like everything was stellar. Now you're gonna see footage of what things look like at the 5-hour mark. I'm in the car and I was like, let me just quickly get some footage before I forget. Because at that point I knew I wasn't gonna be able to do like more of my traditional wear test. But as you can see at the 5-hour mark, things are still looking really nice. Now because I didn't powder and I just put them on my skin and went about my day, I think you are seeing a little bit more radiance from both of them with just, I was in the car, we had been moving around, it was definitely hot outside. So you're seeing like natural oils and natural things just coming through, but both still look really nice. There was no breakdown of either tint on the skin. There was no like very recognizable signs of wear. And at this point I had eaten, I had done like all the things and they were holding on strong. I forgot to take footage at the 8-hour mark. If I did, I'm gonna just go ahead and like put it up here and put a little note in. I don't think I did, but I can tell you at the 8-hour mark, both of these were still going strong and holding on very well. I did take footage. I remembered, I did take footage. So both sides still looked really, really good. Both sides of my face still had very much skin tint on them. Like there was no just like beautiful wear and tear of the skin tints. No, these things are like, look, we're a tint, but don't underestimate us. And I was loving it. And so what you see here is me applying, I've applied concealer, I've applied powder onto the skin, but like, I didn't put a lot of concealer on. I wish I would have like caught that on footage because then you could have seen how much I applied. Literally, I put a little here, a little strip here, blended that in. I put a little bit here, down the nose, and like right here, blended that in. Oh, and around the corners of my nose, but I didn't put a lot. So like all you're seeing right here and all up here, that is tint, okay? Or I should say tints because it's 2 of them. But like these tints, both of them, very long wearing, I would say very natural looking on the skin. And the biggest difference is because we don't have difference in price, they're both $35, no difference in shades. The shade descriptions are the same. I think the biggest difference between both of these skin tints is going to be coverage and blur effect. Because I do feel like we just have more coverage if you kind of look at my face. I think, and I'd love to hear your thoughts down below, I think we've got a more blurred effect on this side of the face, especially around where my pores are compared to this side of the face. And I really like both. I really, really do. I honestly feel like, oh, this is so hard because now I'm gonna get to the point where I'm like, if I had to choose one, I would say this though. Let me just put my own preferences to the side and say this one last thing. If you have the original Eaze Drop skin tint, you like it, you love it, the coverage works well for you, and you just have no complaints, I don't think there is a need for you to go and get the Tint Stick Foundation. I just don't, because really, essentially, they do the same thing. Both are going to be long wearing. Both are going to have a blurred effect to the skin. Both are going to do very well under heat and things like that. With the cream, though, if you felt like the original tint was just a little too mattified for your skin, this one might actually do you well because the formula is creamy. And a lot of times, creams are just easier on the skin, especially if you do have dry skin. I would say those would be the biggest differences if you were trying to figure out like, I got the original one, should I get it? Now if you have neither and you're like, I want one, which one should I get? Whew, that's a hard question. While I ponder on that, because honestly I still don't really know what my answer is going to be, here is a swatch of what the Tint Stick Foundation looks like. And as you can see, I'm going to try to give you a little more to look at. It's just a really beautiful cream formula that is so lightweight. Like neither side of my face feels like I have anything on in terms of the tint. And then I'll do a swatch of the original one. So just so you can see differences of shade. So here is going to be the traditional skin tint. So shade 13 and shade 14. Shade 14 most definitely does work better for my complexion, especially with having this tan that I have going on. So I would say if you use me as a reference, then 13 or 14, depending on maybe if you're a little lighter than me or if you're around my shade or, you know, potentially like a smidge deeper than I am. If I had to choose a side, I know the answer, I just don't want to say it. If I had to choose a side, I'm going with the Tint Stick Foundation. It does look just more blurred. It does look more smooth. And it's just really beautiful on this side. But I do really still love the skin tint. I can't deny it. I will still wear it. And if anything, I probably will just mix both of them because I can get maybe the creamier effect of the Tint Stick Foundation along with, you know, just some extra longwear that comes with the original skin tint. I think that just a tint stick is cool. But I have other foundation sticks that have lighter coverage as well. So I think they did well with the marketing because when I first saw it, I was like, ooh, a skin tint and a stick foundation? I'm intrigued. But I think these are great. So in terms of this showdown, I do think the Tint Stick Foundation won it just because of the blurring effect and the smoothing effect of this. And also I do think it gave a little bit more coverage. So if you are someone that does want to have a little bit more coverage than maybe a traditional skin tint, I would go with the Tint Stick Foundation. And I think too, if you like the formula, this would also work well for contouring, under eye concealing, and all of the above. If you wanted to buy multiple shades, if you really like this. So those are my thoughts on both of these products. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Do you prefer the Tint Stick Foundation side, or do you prefer the original skin tint side? Let me know your thoughts. And if you made it to this point in the video and you haven't yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad because we'd love to have you. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.